Hello.
Welcome.
Yeah, we're playing this game, this new Final Fantasy card game called Magic the Gathering. I'm not sure why it's named that, but it's named that. This is the wrong scene.
This is the wrong scene.
The wrong scene.
Classic start to our Magic video here. We're very good, very professional streamers. We've always claimed to be that.
Wait, is it the wrong scene? No, it's the right scene. That's the right scene.
Is the card cam on?
There we go.
Ah, okay. All right. So we are playing the Final Fantasy VI and the Final Fantasy VII Commander decks. The foiling is
screwing up the chroma.
Yeah.
So these are our two commanders.
I am playing Terra.
I'm Cloud, ex-soldier.
Yeah, and we're going to probably blow past the commander rules. We'll reference them and stuff like that. I think many of the people watching this probably are familiar with them.
I would say probably a lot of people that watch our stream aren't familiar with them.
Well, may not be, yeah.
And
fair
some probably aren't familiar with the rules of Magic. So
yeah,
I'm not going to say we're going to teach you how to play Magic right here, but we'll slow things down a bit.
Yeah. At least through the early turns.
So for Commander, you get 100 cards to build your deck. It's singleton, so you can't have any duplicates, right?
Yeah.
Your Commander sits off...
Except basic lands.
Your Commander sits off in a command zone outside of the realm of the game. You can play your Commander during your turn by paying its cost and putting it into play from your command zone as if it was in your hand.
Yeah.
Right?
And
stop me if I'm wrong at any point.
You are correct. If at any point your commander would leave play and go to any zone, you can always put your commander back into the zone.
Yeah, so
I call this the whiny baby rule.
So it can't be like stuffed in the bottom of your library.
That's correct. Yeah, that used to be commander used to allow that, but whiny babies changed the way.
Because I want to always be able to play my commander.
Yeah.
Now, if your commander is removed from play and returned to your command zone, each subsequent play of the commander.
Yeah.
You have to pay 2 extra mana.
You put some sort of counter on it. I forget the exact name of it. It might be experience. It might be something else.
There's an actual name for it?
Yeah, there's like a name for it or whatever, but you put a counter on it, and then you have to pay 2 generic mana in addition to their casting costs moving forward to like replay them again. So
we are each going to start with 40 health, so bear with me.
Yeah, this we're not exactly designed for Magic on the stream. We're designed for other games. So
now, normally in Magic you start with 20 health, but in this format you start with 40 because things are kind of high powered, and also it's intended for multiplayer. So you want more of a fatty health pool to be able to beat through.
Yeah. Also, there's this thing called commander damage. So if I damage Justin with Terra, or Justin damages me with Cloud, there's a separate counter that counts up, and if I ever take 21 points of commander damage, I lose the game.
I could just do this, but we're gonna have to remember to move them back to track commander damage.
That one's a little bit easier. Oh yeah, I gotcha. So track commander damage. Yeah,
this would be commander damage.
All right.
Oh god.
No. Control Z, whatever that was. Was that the card cam?
It was not.
Okay. But yeah.
Right.
So.
Okay.
These products are pretty cool. These are, in fact, the first sealed Magic products I've bought in years. I can't say a decade because I played Booster Draft back in 2016. I've played a Booster Draft here or there once or twice. But this is the first, since COVID at least, these are the first sealed products. Now, if you play the games, these decks are really love letters to the games, in my opinion. There's a lot of really cool customized stuff in here.
We'll try to show all the cards we play them too, because there's all Final Fantasy exclusive art for everything in here.
Yeah,
really cool stuff.
They've kind of pulled out the stops for the set, and that was very similar to like Lord of the Rings. I actually liked the Lord of the Rings product. I was pretty close to picking up some of that too, because I really liked the look of it and stuff like that. So
it was good. That was another good set that was limited. I've been playing a lot of limited on Arena for this set for drafting, and then I noticed that in these commander decks there's even more new cards, like even more exclusive cards for the set that are really cool.
It's like 40 or more per deck. It might even be it's quite substantially. They did a lot. I haven't played 14. Here's the obligatory cat girl content here. There's also a Final Fantasy X starter deck as well. This is like also a very popular one. Like everybody who's like slightly younger than me and Justin. This
they
is
had their PS2s, and that's their first Final Fantasy they ever played.
And the graphics have come a long way, so there's a lot of people who like the game just because that was like the thing is like every time Final Fantasy has always kind of like pushed the envelope of games development, right? A lot of ways. One of Final Fantasy VI did this really cool thing. The Super Nintendo is not powerful enough to render voices. And so there's this opera scene that's like in the first portion of the game or so. And so the programmers had to make fake opera voices with the 16-bit chips or whatever in Super Nintendo.
I really like how creative developers had to be for the platform of Super Nintendo. When you have like 1 megabyte to work with, you have to you
gotta do some stuff.
I think like the creative programming that goes into those games is really, really fascinating to me.
Okay.
Yeah, these 100 card decks.
We've been shuffling skinny decks for too long.
All right, in Magic the Gathering, you draw
7
cards for your opening hand. You may take a mulligan. Okay.
I think this hand is mulligan worthy. None of my mana. None of my mana is correct.
In Magic the Gathering, you may play 1 card that is a land per turn. Notice this is a land. And to pay for cards, you can tap a land for mana and pay for the card using the mana your land produced.
My hand had a 9-cost thing, a 9-cost spell and 2 lands. Wasn't casting that anytime soon, and Cloud would hit with the Buster Sword over and over and over long before I would get to do anything like that.
So mulligan in Magic isn't just draw 7 new cards. It was once upon a time, I think that one of the first... I'm not going to go through the history. So it was, you would draw 1 less card. So if you drew a 7-card hand, you want to mulligan that hand. Your next hand is 6 cards. Straight up, you draw 1 less card. It's rough. And Magic, you only draw 1 card a turn. So.
Commander had a free one when you were playing multiplayer. You could get a free down to 7.
Is that still the case?
I looked that up. I didn't see it. I think the London rule was kind of supplanted all of that. Maybe we got it wrong, but who cares?
All right, so we'll just London mulligan then.
Yeah.
So that to say, the new mulligan rules for Magic I knew probably in the last couple years, right?
2019.
Okay, the last 6 years. Are the London rules where you draw 7 cards again, but then you put an amount of those cards on the bottom of your library equal to the number of times you have mulliganed. So the first mulligan is put 1 card back.
All right, we're playing cards this time around.
Yeah, this is fine.
Okay.
Let's put 1 card on the bottom for my mulligan. Ugh. Try not to knock this whole deck over.
Okay. No. Alright, I guess we'll put that under. Alright, let's roll. See who goes first. 11.
11.
Also an 11.
9.
3. You've got it.
Okay, I will play a Battlefield Forge. This land can tap for 2 colors of mana, but it does damage to me.
Okay.
So I'm going to tap that for a white and play Zach Fair.
Okay.
I do have to take a damage. Okay, and Zach comes into play with a +1/+1 counter on him.
He's not exhausted.
He's not exhausted, you're right. And creatures enter play ready in Magic, but they do have summoning sickness, so they cannot attack the turn they come into play. So I am passing my turn from here.
Alright, so I'm going to draw. Okay.
And at the start of your turn, you ready your stuff?
I'm going to play Smoldering Marsh. This is a cycle of lands. It counts as both a swamp and a mountain. And it enters play unless you control 2 or more. It enters play tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. So it's just going to come to play tapped. I don't have anything to play for this turn anyway. So I'll slam that down and tell you to go ahead.
Okay. I'll draw. In Magic or in Commander, are you supposed to draw on your first turn? If
there's multiplayer, it's multiplayer. Yeah. Yeah, I think
on top.
I think in head to head, it's You might still, because it's like 100 cards, but
but not for duel. Okay.
Yeah. When you're playing head to head, I didn't think you did. So.
All right, I'm just going to play this Ash Barrens, which is just a colorless land. It has basic land cycling, so you could pay 1 and discard it from your hand to go get a different land, but I'm going to play it. And I'm going to play Hero's Blade, which is an equipment. You can pay the equipment cost to attach it to a creature you control, and it gives it the benefit. In this case, it's +3/+2. Also, it says whenever a legendary creature you control enters, you may attach this equipment to it for free. So that's pretty cool. But right now, it's just going to sit off to the side.
It's Buster Sword at home for those of you who are familiar.
It's baby Buster. It's like the first Buster Sword you get. Yeah. I moved my combat step, and I will declare attackers. So I'm going to declare Zach Fair as an attacker on Nathan.
Yeah, I'll take the 1.
Boom, and then I'm done.
Okay. All right. I am going to play an Isolated Chapel. This enters play unless you control a plains or a swamp. The Smoldering Marsh is a swamp, so this comes into play ready. I'm going to use this to play Phoenix Down. You can pay 2 and exile this artifact, and you can reanimate something. Return target creature with mana cost 4 or less into the battlefield tapped. Or I can use it to get rid of a skeleton, spirit, or zombie. In Final Fantasy VI, if you use Phoenix Down, which would bring your party members back to life, if you used it against an undead, it would kill it. It would just straight up kill it. So there were several monsters in the game that you could. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that scary?
I touched them.
Oh, okay.
Exile means remove from the game, essentially.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. There aren't any monsters in the house, Eddie.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Remember this.
Exile. Yeah, exile is like a separate zone. It's different than the command zone, right?
I'm going to play my land for the turn. It's going to be a Fortified Village. As land enters, you may reveal a forest or plains card from your hand. If you don't, this land enters play tapped. I don't have anything to reveal.
Okay.
So I'll just play it. And I will move on to my combat step.
Yep.
Zach is going to attack you for 1.
Sounds good.
And I'm done.
Okay. I'm going to... Ready. Draw for the turn. Okay.
Exile just means obliterate from existence.
I'm going to play Desolate Mire. This you can pay 1, and this taps for a white or a black. I am going to use Isolated Chapel to activate Desolate Mire, and then I'm going to pay a red here, and I'm going to cast my commander. I'm actually going to do this before combat for my turn. So she's got Summoning Sickness, she can't attack. But this says, at the beginning of combat on your turn, mill 2 cards and Terra gains flying until the end of the turn. This deck wants to do a lot of reanimation stuff, so I want extra cards in my discard pile. So I'm going to mill 2, a land, and a Soul Ring, of course.
Show Soul Ring.
And go ahead.
It's one of the most iconic cards in Commander. Right?
Yeah, Soul Ring is an extremely iconic card in Commander. And this is Chromud, but this is actually an Esper-specific Soul Ring, which is kind of cool. That's what happens in these Commander decks. Justin's Soul Ring looks different. The Final Fantasy 14 and the Final Fantasy 10 on Soul Rings all look different. So
you're done.
Yep.
All right. Well, I can't attack into Nathan right now because he's got a 3/3 creature, and my creature is a 1/2. Nathan could just choose to block, and then he would kill my guy, and I would not gain anything from it. So, I'm gonna play Professional Facebreaker. I do have to pay a red for a life, or a life for a red mana here. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token, sacrifice a treasure, exile the top card of your library, and you may play that card until end of turn.
Okay. One or more creatures you control deal combat damage to. Okay.
I'm done.
Okay. All right.
So note there that I did not make a land drop, which is a thing that can happen in Magic.
I'm also on 3 lands. I have a game plan for that. But all right, so I will draw a card for the turn. The game plan was rip a land. No. I am going to Mountain Cycle. Let's see. I guess I pay for it like this. That way I have that open. So this is a 7/4 for 6 with Menace that says when this creature dies, each player may discard their hand and draw 7 cards, which is a very powerful effect. But it has this ability down here called Mountain Cycling. I am going to pay 2 and discard and search my deck for a mountain card and put it into my hand. So he's going to my discard pile, and we'll go scrounge up a mountain real fast. I want I think it's get like a basic mountain. I have a lot of these fake dual lands, so I could go get one of the ones that interplay tapped, or I could go see if I can find one that interplay ready. So that way, if I mill something that I can use off of Terra, I can like reanimate it.
Yeah, Meatbag, the way that attacking works in Magic is you declare all of your attackers at once. So there's an attack phase where I could say I want to attack with just like one creature or all my creatures. There's no like attack and then attack and then attack. It's just I'm going to attack with both my creatures. And then Nathan has an opportunity to choose if he wants to block or not. And any creature can block. They don't have to have Defender in this case to do that.
I'm going to get basic mountain. I could use... I could like go get something. There's a couple of other mountains in here, but they all come into play tapped. I'm not particularly thrilled to do that here because I want like I said, I want to be able to reanimate something with Terra if I can hit it, or reanimate it with Phoenix down as well. Mm-hmm. So okay, give that to you. All right, we're swinging Terra in. So combat phase starts. I mill 2 cards. I mill Go-Go and a Rugged Prairie. We'll read Go-Go real fast. He says, at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have Go-Go become a copy of another target creature you control until end of turn, except its name is Go-Go Mysterious Mime. You do Go-Go and that creature each get +2/+0 and haste until end of turn and attack this turn if able. So I am going to attack you with Terra. She has flying, thanks to her ability. Terra gains flying until the end of your turn.
And with flying is a keyword that means only creatures with flying can block creatures with flying.
Yep. And so she'll do 3 damage to you. Whenever she deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 2. When you do, return target creature with power 3 or less from graveyard to the battlefield tapped. I'm going to pay 2, and we're going to bring back Go-Go.
Seems pretty good. And I took 3 commander damage.
That's correct, yes. Okay, and that is my turn. I'll tell you, go ahead.
Untap, upkeep, draw, play a land. Alright, I want to play... Commander damage is if you take 20 total damage from your opponent's commander, you lose the game. That's the alternate win condition.
Yep.
Kate Sith, Fortune Teller. 21 damage?
21, yeah. 21.
Okay.
Yeah, it's based off of Elder Dragon Highlander. The Elder Dragons were a cycle of dragons from Legends in Magic. They were all 7 power, 3 color creatures. That's why 21 is the number.
I see. Kate Sith. All right. At the beginning of combat on your turn, scry 1 and then exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. When you exile a card this way, target creature you control gets +X/+0 until end of turn. Where that card mana?
Oh, Jesus.
Card's mana cost.
They're about to hit me for...
Kate Sith. All right. So move to combat. Start a combat. I get to scry 1, which means I look at the top card of my deck and I can put it on the top or bottom of the deck. And then I'm going to leave that there. So then I exile it. Exile is the zone of no return most of the time. It's a summoning materia. It's a 2-cost artifact.
3 cost.
3 cost. So I'm going to give a creature +X/+0. So +3/+0. And I can play this till end of turn, but I don't have any mana to pay for it, so it's just going to stop existing. I'll just put it sideways over here. That's my exile zone. I will give... I'll give Zach the +4 or +3/+0.
Okay.
And then I'll declare my attackers.
Yep.
So
you'll hit me for 6.
Yeah, Zach's 4 and this guy is for 2, so Nathan takes 6.
Yeah, and whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage, you get to create some treasure tokens.
Create when one or more creatures you control deal combat damage. Create a treasure token. I think I have treasure tokens here. Treasure token. I have one treasure token.
Okay. So you get a treasure token.
Is an artifact you can just sacrifice to make a mana, which does work pretty well alongside Kate Sith if I need to be able to pay for something that he reveals, right?
Yeah.
But that can sit around until I'm ready. Also, when Kate Sith came into play, I could equip the Hero's Blade to it for free, so I might as well do that. So Kate Sith gets +3/+2. So he's a 3/3 creature. Down there is his power and toughness. And with the Hero's Blade equipped, he's a 6/5, which is a beat stick. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. So I'm going to draw. This. I'm gambling over here. All right, so at the beginning of combat, both of these trigger at the same time. So I'm going to trigger Terra first. So beginning of combat, I'm going to mill 2 cards and she gains flying. I discard a Mortify and I discard a land. And then Go-Go can become a copy of a creature. So Go-Go is going to become a copy of Terra, except he's called Go-Go. Now, this doesn't let the ability trigger off of Terra because we've already passed the window in which it would trigger. So, however, he does become a 3/3 with flying. Actually, he does not have flying.
Doesn't get flying.
Does not have flying. So...
But they both get +2/+7.
Yes. And so they're both attacking for 5.
What's up, Talon Roll? We're
Hello.
playing some Final Fantasy, the card game.
Yeah, the stack.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the stack unless we got to talk about the stack. I'm trying to confuse the non-Magic players.
Okay, I'm going to attack with both. Coming at you for 10. She's flying, Go-Go is not.
I think I am going to block Go-Go.
Okay. So it's 5-5, right? It's
yeah.
So we will both bite the dust here. So I get 5 damage. So I got another 3 commander damage there.
You get 5 commander damage, right?
Yeah, 5 total commander damage. So up to 8.
Yep.
Okay. And then this ability triggers. How tricky do I want to get with it? We'll do a little gambling here. I'm gonna cast at instant speed. As additional cast to cost the spell, discard a card.
So that is that in the discard pile when this triggers? Can you actually resolve to reanimate him?
Yeah. Because it's when she deals combat damage. So the combat damage is dealt and resolved.
He's dead already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I could bring him back if I wanted to. I'm gonna discard. So this is big score here. Additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card.
There's no prophecies.
I discard Siegfried, who's a 2/2 menace for 4, and menace means it has to be blocked by 2 or more creatures. When he enters, mill 3 cards, then put X counters on him, where X is twice the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Big score says draw 2 cards and create 2 treasure tokens. So I'll create 2 treasure tokens and draw 2 cards. Okay. And so I have the option to reanimate Siegfried or Go-Go if I would like, but I'm not. I'm going to skip through the rest of the combat. And I am going to play Sulphurous Springs. We'll tap my lands up like this. It returns it to play tapped. So, all right, and I will tell you to go ahead.
Thought about drawing 2 cards. All right. Let's play Cloud. Cloud gets in here. When he enters attachment for 1 target equipment you control to it,
So you get, if you had two equipment,
I could get two.
Yeah, the sword would get equipped to him, and then another piece of equipment would get equipped to him as well.
So he's big. I will move to combat step.
Okay. Engage.
I will declare my attackers. All attackers.
All right, I am going to play an instant Crackling Doom. I'm going to pop my 2 treasure tokens, and I'm going to take a point of damage to use Sulfur Springs. To since this costs 3 different colors of mana here.
I didn't need to take a damage to play Cloud, actually.
So Crackling Doom deals 2 damage to each opponent, so you'll take 2, and then you sacrifice a creature with the greatest power among creatures you control.
Alright, so Cloud explodes.
Yeah, I could advance my board there with Terra, and the guy would come to play tapped, and then Cloud would hit me in the face.
Yeah.
So
Rude.
now you do get to...
when a Cloud attacks, draw a card for each equipped attacking creature you control.
Yeah.
Then if Cloud has power 7 or greater, create 2 treasure tokens. He did have 7.
Yeah.
And do need 1 more treasure token.
Yeah, I gotcha. In theory, I should Crackling Doom before Cloud gets to attack, but you tap your dudes to attack, right? And so there's this world where I want to be able to attack through Justin here. So, and you'll hit me for 3 and create another treasure token with the face breaker.
More treasure. Oh, I didn't have to take 1 because I used the treasure for red.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Feel like I... I'm done. I'll be done.
Okay. All right. Untap, upkeep, draw. I'm going to play a Battlefield Forge. I'm going to declare my attack step.
You got
it. Terra Mills 2. The Combustible Gear Hulk here. And the Wayfarer's Bauble. This is a Gal here. Gal is a feral child. He's got possibly one of the most heartbreaking stories in all of Final Fantasy VI. There's a lot. I am going to have Terra attack you for 3.
Okay.
You got anything to say about that?
I don't.
Okay. I suppose let's bring back Siegfried because he's big. Pay. Gonna tap. I gotta make sure I got the right lands. I'll pay 2 to bring back Siegfried. When he enters, mills 3 cards. So I'm gonna mill another land, a land, and Pitiless Plunderer. And then he gets +1/+1 counters for each creature card in my graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's got 4 +1/+1 counters. And then we're gonna play. This one's for all the watchers. We're gonna play Mog Moogle Warrior. Look at him go. He's a 1/2 lifelink, and he says at the beginning of the end step, and I'll be done for the turn, so we'll move to this. The beginning of your end step, each player may discard a card. Each player who discarded a card this way draws a card. If a creature card was discarded this way, you create a 1/2 Moogle creature token with a lifelink. And then if a non-creature card was discarded this way, put a +1/+1 counter on each Moogle you control. So I'm going to discard Interceptor. Menace assassins you control have Menace. He says whenever you attack with one or more legendary creatures, you can pay 3 and play him from your discard pile, and he comes into play tapped and attacking.
I'm discarding this here. Avalanche of Sector 7 creature.
So I draw and you draw. All right, and so you a non-creature card was not discarded, correct?
Right.
So a creature card was discarded. I will generate a Moogle token. That's right. We're Moogle in here. Okay, and go ahead. I gotta put an army of Moogles in the way of Cloud.
Play a mountain. Okay. I'll play Soldier Military Program. It is a enchantment. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, you may choose. Choose one. If you control a commander, you may choose both instead. So I can either create a soldier token or put a +++ counter on each of up to 2 soldiers I control.
So you can buff him, and his counters keep growing from there.
Yeah.
Soldier program.
I'm going to play this equipment. Mask of Memory.
Okay.
Yeah. Crypt creature deals combat damage to a player. You may draw 2 cards. If you do, discard a card.
That was actually in the original, I think, Mirrodin. I think it was Mask of Memory was in Mirrodin.
Well,
maybe in Darksteel, but it's one of the original equipment. So
I'm going to sack a treasure token to pay the 1 to equip this mask to the professional face breaker.
Yeah.
At the start of combat, I'll choose to put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 soldiers.
Yep.
This is actually isn't even a soldier.
No, he's a warrior.
I will
meaningfully distinct.
I will put a counter on Zach still.
Okay.
And then I will declare my attacker.
Yep.
This guy.
All right. So he's attacking for 2. You would get to create a treasure token.
He does damage. He has menace, so he has to be blocked by 2 things.
Yeah, I'd have to throw 2 Moogles in the way. I don't know. I feel like my Moogles are whatever. You get some card advantage here. I'll allow it.
Okay. So he does damage. I get a treasure token. I get to draw 2 cards and then discard a card. Okay. I'll discard this automation guy.
To answer Talon Rolls questions, these are straight out of the box. Sorry, I saw it now that you probably asked a couple minutes ago. But yeah, these are straight out of the box. I have no intention to modify these. In fact, I think I'm going to keep them together. It's going into the will. The Final Fantasy Commander decks must stay together to receive your inheritance.
I'm done. I need to do 2 damage to you.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Untap, upkeep, draw. Okay. I am gonna play Exotic Orchard. Add 1 mana of any color that an opponent's land could produce. So this can tap for red or white. For me, it can't. You don't have anything that could possibly produce black over there.
Well, these decks seem pretty fun as far as like pre-constructed decks go.
All right, we're headed to combat. Terra is going to mill 2. We've got the Stitcher's Supplier. When this enters or dies, mill 3 cards, and then Legions to Ashes. Exile target non-land permanent opponent controls, and all tokens with that player controls the same name as that permanent. Okay. And then we will attack with Siegfried and Terra. When I attack with one or more legendary creatures, I can pay 3 to put Interceptor into play. So that's what I'll do. We'll use this land and this land and this land. We'll pay 3. He comes into play tapped and attacking. He is a human warrior rogue. He is not an assassin. Okay, there we go. Attacking like that.
All right, I'm taking it.
All right. Get beat on.
I have no choice.
Take 17.
All right, I'm gonna
Sorry,
be dead.
4, 6, 10, 13. And we're gonna use Terra, I think, to bring back something. Go. Or the Pitiless Plunderer, whatever. Another creature you control dies, creates a treasure token. Yeah, we'll pay 2 and bring back the Pitiless Plunderer with Terror's ability. So whenever another creature I control dies, I get to create a treasure token. All right. I am going to move to the end step. And we'll Moogle here. Each player may discard a card. I'm going to discard a land.
Discard a man.
Okay. Discarding red 13.
Yeah.
He's so cool looking, though.
He is cool.
All right, so I'm going to make a Moogle token with Mog here. And then if a non-creature card was discarded this way, the land, everything gets a draw.
Yeah, I do need the Wrath of God.
Everything gets, all my Moogles get +1/+1 counters. Moogle army, rise up. All right, go ahead.
Planes.
Super Laser Blast. There's Ultima. It destroys everything and ends the turn.
I'll play Trailblazer's Boots. Equipped creature has non-basic land walk, which essentially makes it can't be blocked as long as the defending player has a non-basic land, which Nathan has many non-basic lands. many. So I'm gonna play Cloud for the extra mana. I had to pay all my treasure tokens for Cloud.
Yep. Strap
Cloud
him up.
is going to come into play. Hero's Blade is going to equip to him automatically.
Yep.
Cloud's ability is going to equip the Trailblazer Boots to Cloud.
Yep.
And then I will move to my combat step.
Yep.
I will just attack with Cloud.
Okay.
So when Cloud attacks...
You get this first.
Oh yeah, so I'm going to do the plus... I get both effects, so I get a counter. Soldier counter.
Yeah, and you can put one on Zach as well.
And I can put one on Zach. Alright, Cloud is attacking. I get to draw a card. And I get to create 2 treasure tokens. And you ain't blocking that shit.
Yep. Taking 8 then, right?
Taken 8.
Yep. You could actually sack Zach to put another 3 +1/+1 counters on him.
I could.
It's probably not worth it. It's probably worth it to keep him alive, but it's a good thing I killed that Cloud earlier, because I would probably be dead if I had not killed him instantly.
I am done.
He's not a zombie, is he? A skeleton spirit or zombie, perhaps?
He's not.
Okay.
He's a human soldier mercenary.
Okay. Asked and answered. Did I want to bring back... I could Phoenix down back Go-Go. That'd be sick. Yeah, we'll use Phoenix down. We'll bring back Go-Go. 4 or less. Yeah, we'll get Go-Go back. Tapped. Okay. All right. Ready up. Draw. Land. Start a combat. I'll use Terra and mill to. Plains and another land. I think she has milled like 70% lands or something.
I sure wish that I had drawn any removal spells. This whole game.
We'll go to attack here. I think I have Go-Go become a copy of Interceptor. And then I just swing out. I tell you to figure it out.
Yeah, I can. I'm dead. I'm dead. I've been dead.
Figure it out.
I take like 1 billion damage. All right. There you go.
All right. Final Fantasy Commander.
Do we play the other decks?
Yeah, we can play the other ones. I don't see why not. Cool. This was like much faster than I was expecting from.
I mean, like one heads up commander, it ends fast, right?
Yeah, I think so. These decks have a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
All right, so there's Cat Girls, and then sports ball players.
Give me the Cat Girls.
Cat Girls done.
Hand them Cat Girls over.
All right.
The Cloud deck out of the box has almost no removal. Ah, well that explains it.
Yeah,
that explains it. Okay then.
All right. I have tokens here. I believe. See, which one's this one? I believe this will cover you. You may be creating spirits or squids.
These are my commander choices here. All right, so Y'shtola. Beginning of each end step, if the player lost 4 or more life this turn, you may draw a card. Okay. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, Y'shtola does 2 damage to each opponent, and you gain 2 life.
Right. I think these are your tokens right there.
Okay, and then I could play Graha, the Scion Reborn. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay X life, where X is the spell's mana value. If you do create a 1/1 colorless hero token and put X +1/+1 counters on it, do this only once each turn. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try Y'shtola.
Yeah, I think Y'shtola. I think that dude's actually probably broken to build around because he's probably crazy, but yeah. But Y'shtola I think is what the deck is designed around.
It's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Need a good bit of shuffling here.
Oh yeah. It's those are fresh. They're
Yeah, like if I could have just simply killed your commander, done 3 damage to your commander.
yeah.
I would have been in a much better spot. Yeah.
Lightning bolt, Swords of Plowshares.
Simply have 1 removal spell.
Yeah, I mean I played 1 removal spell, right? That was enough to win the game. All right, we're doing Titus this time around. He's getting Chromud. At the beginning of combat in your turn, you may move a counter from target creature you control onto a second target creature you control. And then he has the ability Cheer. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control counters on them deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card and Proliferate. Do this only once per turn. Proliferate is a mechanic that says for each player and creature, or each card, right?
Yep.
Each permanent that has a counter on it, you can copy a token that's on it. So, Swords of Plowshares and a Path. Yeah.
That would have gone a long way.
Would have gone a long way. I was actually worried because Cloud's like a huge mana advantage engine, right? Because he starts generating all those
tokens out.
He's like a double Ragavan, which sounds kind of like an antiquated slur of some sort. Like if somebody just walked in and called me a double Ragavan.
Your Ragavan is in the draft set as one of the
Yeah, because you could pull him from.
My opponent played him when I was playing earlier. I was like, the fuck is this?
Where'd you come from, you stupid monkey?
Yeah, come on. I thought we were past this.
Yeah. Nah, apparently he's fine. Apparently he's
not good enough anymore.
Yeah, he's not good enough.
Magic the Gathering. Yeah, new Final Fantasy game. It's pretty sick.
We're a couple of paper boomers over here. All right, Titus. The game I didn't ever play 10, so all of these references are completely lost on me. I could talk about the Interceptor, the dog that came into play from the graveyard. He would actually take hits he could stop attacks on a character named Shadow. And there's this whole there's a card called Stitched Together that is in the Final Fantasy VI deck that is the Shadow backstory in the game, and you only learn the Shadow backstory by going to specific ends in the game and resting there. You get these dream sequences of where he came from and stuff like that. And one of the other playable characters in the game is his daughter, and that's heavily implied from the backstory. And so when you've got when he's in the party and she's in the party, the dog will protect her too. And that's one of those. It's it'll happen in the game. You don't know why. You're what's going on here? And so yeah,
pretty cool. What a nerd, am I right, guys? those
I can talk about Final Fantasy 6 for hours.
6 lore, yeah. Ooh. 100 cards is so many cards.
It's a lot. Alright, she does what? Player lost 4 more life, you draw a card. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, deals 2 damage to each opponent, you gain. Okay, yeah. It's pretty. Who rolled what? You rolled a 5?
Yeah.
I don't think I rolled. Also a 5.
Final Day was pretty cool. It has triple triad in it. I had a lot of fun playing High Seas set of Flesh and Blood. Oh.
That's apparently hard to find right now, right? I think the distributors sold out of it. The box is going for like a bunch over retail.
I'm gonna mulligan.
Tactics is pretty good. I don't know if I ever finished it, but I did play Tactics a long time ago. My hand is good. Last 2 sets are really hard to get a hold of. I'm sure they'll reprint it, right? I think the thing is they were probably reacting to probably like an overcorrection, or maybe there's just too much competition in the printers because Pokemon and Magic were both trying to print stuff, right? So found lucky to find the Cloud deck. The Commander decks aren't too bad to find, but the sealed product is just gone now. The collector boosters are $1,200, which is 3 times retail, which is crazy. Crazy.
Were you first?
I believe you won the roll.
Where? I'll play my Glacial Fortress Exhausted, my blue-white land.
Okay. I will draw.
You consider $1,200. Did you misspeak? Did you misspeak, Nathan?
No. They're $1,200 American dollars online for a collector box. You're paying $100 a booster pack for collector boosters right now.
It's been fun, Ultra Hoover. We just got done with our set 4 tournament for Star Wars. And it was pretty fun. Pretty dang fun. And the next set comes out soon, like next week.
All right. I'm going to play an island basic. And then I'm going to play a Blitzball Stadium. I don't know when I'd actually cast this. So when this artifact enters support X, so I can play this for 1, and this has pay 3 and tap it until the end of the turn. Target creature gets this. Whenever this creature deals down combat damage to a player, draw a card for each kind of counter on it, and it can't be blocked this turn.
Okay.
So I feel like that's just worth getting into play right now, despite the fact that I get no value from it. So, all right, go ahead.
I'll play my Swamp, and then I'll pay 2 for an Astrologian's Planisphere. It has Job Select, so this is an equipment card. We talked about those. We saw them in the Cloud deck. But the Job Select makes a token, a hero token, and this equipment comes into play equipping it. This also has, it gets the Wizard creature type in addition to its other types, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, and whenever you draw your 3rd card each turn, play +1/+1 counter on this creature.
Okay. They could get out of hand.
They can get out of hand, yeah. It's pretty good.
That could get out of hand. All right, my turn?
Yep.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I'm going to play Interland Harbor. Enters play unless you control a forest or an island. So that comes into play ready. I'm going to pay 2, and I'm going to play the Gyre Sage, who has a mechanic called Evolve. Now, the reason that you're being bombarded with mechanics is because these commander decks are the accumulation of like 25 years worth of mechanics.
Decades of Magic mechanics.
Yeah. And they're all like there to be reminiscent of all the Final Fantasy mechanics as well. So whenever a creature you control enters, if the creature has greater power or toughness than this creature, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on it, and then he taps for mana based off of the number of +1/+1 counters on it. So All right, so I'll put him right there, and I will tell you to go ahead.
All right, I'll play my Arcane Sanctum Exhausted. It produces any color mana that I need, so it's pretty good, but
the trade-off is, trade-off.
I'm going to play Tataru Taru. When Tataru Taru enters, you draw a card, and target opponent may draw a card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, if it isn't that player's turn, create a tapped treasure token. That's pretty good.
So I draw a card, but you get a treasure token.
You may draw a card.
Yeah, right. I draw a card, but you get a treasure token. I don't love giving people mana in Commander because the spells just get more broken as the game goes on, right? You know what? My hand's playable. I refuse your offer.
Okay.
All right, my turn.
I am done. Yeah, I'm not going to attack with my 1/1.
Into my 1/2.
Into your 1/2.
All right, draw. Oh my god. Okay. I'm going to play Glacial Fortress and interplay tapped. Let you control plains or an island. Guess what? Still control an island.
Treasure tokens.
They tap for any color of mana.
Yeah. So. This is a treasure token. It's an artifact, which is relevant. It's a permanent, and you can sacrifice it to add a mana of any color, which is great.
All right, it's Blitzball time.
It's like
in
temporary.
comes Titus. I'm playing Titus. It costs 3.
This is happening again.
Yeah, 3 cost commanders. Drop the hammer. Go ahead.
What does he do?
No, and that evolves.
Oh, you can move a counter.
That involves this thing. So I'll go to combat. Is it worth evolving?
So you can move that counter onto him.
Yeah, I think I leave the counter on him for right now. And I'll tell you to go ahead. These commander decks were made for some sick perverts, I'll tell you that much. There's all types of magic perverts.
I'll play Lissy Hexed. Prowess, which is whenever you cast a creature spell, she gets +1/+1 on the turn.
I think this creature kills people.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm quite sure it does, yeah. She seems crazy.
I think you could build her as a commander, and especially in like competitive or whatever, and she's just smoking people, right? Because if you play 2 non-creature spells, she gets double strike.
Right. Double strike means that she does damage twice in combat, essentially. Two different damage steps: first strike damage step and normal damage step.
Oh, I'm sorry, Eddie. Are you bored?
You know he's bored.
You bored? Bored of magic? He's chilling on stuff.
I'm done.
All right.
I don't have a land also.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Magic.
Welcome to Magic. All right, I'm going to play basic forest. I'm gonna do some. All right, I'm gonna tap 4 so that I can multi-kick Everflowing Chalice here. So multi-kickers, you could pay the cost any number of times after you cast the spell. So paying 4, this comes to play with 2 counters on it. 2, what is it? Charge counters, 2 charge counters. I'll use these blue to represent charge counters. And then I'm gonna, so you got some stuff that can block there. I'll give you that. I can either make, I can't make Titus both unblockable and, okay, all right, look, we're gonna play Sphere Grid. I'm gonna tap the Gyre Sage for 1 and then tap Everflowing Chalice for 2. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to player, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature, and then unlock ability. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have reach and trample. Like I said, this is a deck for counter perverts.
Good lord.
If you're a particular type of counter pervert, you're gonna love this deck. All right, so I'll move the combat, and Titus is gonna put this on him, and then I'm going to attack for 4.
Okay, I'll take 4.
Okay. So you'll take 4 commander damage, and I get to draw a card and proliferate. So I'm going to choose Titus to duplicate the counter, and then the Everflowing Chalice to duplicate a counter. All right, go ahead. Top deck Terror of the Peaks. Yeah, Terror of the Peaks is a good card.
Play planes.
Die to this thing. This thing does 40 damage to me.
I will play White Auracite, which is a artifact that when it enters, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until this artifact leaves the battlefield. So that's going to be Titus.
Okay, he's gone.
It also taps for mana.
He leaves forever.
It is a non-creature spell, so it costs me 1 less because of Alyssa. She also gets +1/+1 until end of turn because I cast a non-creature spell because she has prowess. This gets +1/+1 counter because I cast a non-creature spell. And then I'm going to pay a black and a white, and I'm going to play Bastion of Remembrance. When this enchantment enters, create 1/1 white human creature's token. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life.
Oh, technically he got another +1/+1 count. Now that it mattered because he's gone.
So this is an enchantment, it's chilling.
Yeah.
I get a soldier token. I get a +1/+1 counter on this hero. And Lissy gets another +1/+1 from her prowess from a non-creature spell being played. All right, combat stuff.
And she has double strike now.
And she has double strike now.
Yep.
Super good. I will attack with these guys.
Okay. I'm gonna eat some shit, I guess.
Yeah. So 3 damage and then
8. So
8
11.
damage.
Yeah.
I am done.
Okay.
Edward. Must you squeak?
Alright, I'm going to play Temple of the False God.
How can he squeak?
It taps for 2, activate only if you control 5 or more lands. So
There's some squeaky. He's just squeaking on it.
Oh, yeah.
He's still squeaky. Although with his pile of confiscated squeaky toys.
Yep.
So he only likes to squeak in the old streams.
I'm white mana short of being able to do some cool stuff.
Great.
So I think I have to play Titus again. And pay 5 and play Titus. Yeah, yeah, that's what I have to do. Alright, so I'll pay 5 for a Titus. And that'll evolve this guy. I am play this thing. Draw some cards. I'm gonna play Chasm Skulker. It's a 1/1 for 3. Whenever you draw a card, I get to put a +1/+1 counter on it. And whenever this creature dies, create squid tokens with Island Walk. Rex the number of +1/+1 counters on this guy. So we'll put him right here. I'll go to combat. Do I want to slap a counter over to here? I guess I'll do that. And I will tell you to go ahead.
Alright, I'll play a land. I will. Alright, so you got a 3/3, you got a 1/2, you got a 2/2. Unfortunately, can't combo out like I did last turn. Maybe I just play Stola. Alright, I'll play Stola.
Okay.
She's here.
2/4 vigilance, beginning of each end step. If the player lost 4 more life this turn, you draw a card. Each end step. Wow.
If a player.
Yeah, so if I attack you for enough, you get to draw a card.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, I'll be done.
Okay, so every time one of your things dies, you get okay. Alright. Okay, untap. Upkeep. We'll draw, and the squid here. The squid horror triggers. What the sorry, I'm doing some perverted stuff over here. I'm gonna play Riku, Resourceful Guardian. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on a creature until end of turn, that creature can't be blocked by creatures your opponents control. And steal, pay 1 and tap it to move a counter from target creature opponent controls on a creature you control. Activate known as a sorcery.
I guess in Commander, you want to be doing some really, really stupid shit on every one of your turns.
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah. Okay. So Riku evolves the Gyre Sage. So this creature can't be blocked. I actually don't think I'll be using that. I will be using Titus's ability to move this +1/+1 counter to Titus. He can't be blocked. And then I will attack you, unfortunately, for 4, which will let you draw off the Y'shtola. So he'll do 4 damage to you. And then I will get to draw and then proliferate. So we'll put counters on everything. It's got counters. Oh, and this got another +1/+1 counter because of the card draw. We'll proliferate this. And then he got another +1/+1 counter from that thing. He has reach and trample also, for the record. Okay. I've done it. I've drawn green-white source. It would come into play tapped if I revealed a forest or playing card from my hand. Unfortunately, I don't have either. Okay. That is... that'll be my turn. I'll tell you to go ahead.
I'll draw a card. I'm taking 4. My turn. Okay.
Taru. He's tapping land. I'm not excited about this.
I'm gonna play Siphon Mind. Each other player discards a card. You draw a card for each card discarded this way.
All right, so that's gonna trigger Y'shtola, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna discard Inexorable Tide, which is a card that says when you cast a spell, proliferate, which is very good, I'll admit. However, I'm already proliferating, so.
All right, so I prowess. I get a counter. I do 2 damage to you, and I gain 2 life.
Yep.
Okay. And I draw a card from the Siphon Mind. I'll play a Baleful Strix, which is a flying death touch, and
okay.
enters a draw card.
That's a great card to have reprinted. It's just a good card.
I have not played a land yet. I'll play this land. Well, I can't attack into you. Pretty sure. No.
I have deadly squids.
Yeah, it's pretty deadly squids. I guess I'm done.
Okay. Anything to do? Nope.
And unfortunately, did not trigger Stola turn.
All right. We'll draw.
I was hoping to draw a non-creature spell.
Oh my god. Holy crap. This thing is busted.
Great.
Okay, I'm going to pay a green and a white. You got 2 open?
Yep.
I'll play Protection Magic. Instant, put a shield counter on up to 3 target creatures. If a creature with shield would be dealt damage, destroyed, remove a shield from it instead.
And we got shield tokens.
We do, we sure do. Sorry, this got a counter when I thing, so I'm going to we're gonna do one here, and one I don't know, here. That I want that guy to die here, I guess. All right, those guys are all unblockable. And then we will attack with Titus. I don't think there's a reason to attack with anybody else. Attack with Titus for 6.
Okay. I can't do anything about that.
I'll spend 3 and blitzball him, I guess. So I draw a card for each kind of counter on it as well.
So 2.
Yeah, so I'll draw for him and then draw 2 more. So draw 3, which will put counters. We're gonna use the old Blood Bowl D16 on this guy now. So
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. He's up to 7 counters right now. And then yeah, draw 3. Yep. Okay. And then we will.
You have to proliferate.
Yeah, oh yeah. So we'll proliferate here. We'll get. I assume you can have multiple shield tokens. This isn't.
Sure.
Blood Bowl, right? I mean, this isn't.
You choose any type of token you duplicate
Yeah.
it, so you can do shield and a +1/+1.
Yeah. He gets a +1/+1 thanks to the sphere grid.
That's pretty silly.
And sure. I mean, he's already got a shield. Well, whatever. We'll give him another shield token just in case. Okay. And then go ahead.
Okay, I do draw a card. So there's that. I have to kill you this turn, I think, somehow.
Or die to commander damage.
Yeah.
Good luck killing me through my squids.
My squids will blot out in the sun. Well, yeah, I should have played this guy last turn then. I have this dude, this Elder Dragon, that whenever I cast a non-creature spell, and when you cast him, and get a creature gets +1/+1, can't be blocked. So I could pump up the
yeah.
Lissy.
Yeah. I think she's sick. I think you could easily make a commander deck where you're just smoking people with her. Because like she makes this cost 1, right? You're like, okay, well, I'll shield token her. You tried to kill her. My counter spells cost less.
Alright, I'll play him. So
All
he's
right.
gonna +1/+0 and can't be blocked.
When he enters and whenever you cast it on creature. Okay.
I'll play an Arcane Signet, which is taps for 1 color mana and my color's commander's identity. So
Yeah.
I played a non-creature spell. It costs 1 less. She gets prowess. I'll just do 2 because that's where her power is right now.
Yeah.
There's not a double strike yet. I cast non-creature spell, so she gets +1/+0.
Yep. You could even spread that around, right? You could make another creature unblockable.
I could.
Like Ishtola's got vigilance.
Yeah. This also.
Yeah.
gets a counter from that. Yeah, so I can make this dude unblockable. I think that's probably correct. So this is +1/+. And then I will play Transpose, which is draw a card and then discard a card. You lose 1 life if this spell is cast from your hand. Create a 0/1 black wizard creature token with whenever you cast a non-creature spell. This token deals 1 damage to each opponent, and rebound if you cast a spell from your hand. Exile it as it resolves at the beginning of your next upkeep. You may cast this card from exile without paying its mana cost.
You can put it on top of your draw because it's beginning of your next upkeep.
Yeah.
So.
That's a non-creature spell. That makes, let's say, get double strike.
Yep.
Prowess triggers. This guy triggers. I'll pump her +1.
Sure.
You stole the triggers. You take 2, and I gain 2. Anything else?
Mana
She
value.
gets a counter.
Yep.
And that's all the shit I can do. Does this kill you? I don't think
It does a lot of damage.
It does a lot of damage. You don't have flying. Oh, you reach.
Yeah,
you reach.
my +1/+1 counters have reach.
So these two, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage, and then this is another
12.
12 damage.
19.
19.
That's close. I mean,
19 damage.
That's not far.
Yeah, but it ain't enough. 19 damage to Nathan.
Yeah. You'll get to draw a card.
I need not that.
There's like a cycle of free spells in Commander. It's like you control your commander, you can play the spell for free. It's like one of the really expensive ones is like changes the target of something. So somebody tries to remove something, you're just like, nah, how about you kill your thing?
Yep, I'm done. So
all right, I have a funny card.
Titus just goes unblockable when I lose.
Yeah, hang on, I gotta see what this thing does. This card is called Yuna's Whistle. It says reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put the card into your hand and the rest of them are in your library in a random order. When you reveal a creature card this way, put X+1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X is that mana value of that card. I just want to see what this goes for. We'll see what this.
Okay.
See how big it gets. 3. It's just 2. All right. Well, he'll get 2 and then
I'm done.
Slap you.
All right. That was interesting.
Yeah, I was like, I looked at her and I was like terrified of that card when I was looking at the deck list. I was like,
She's so stupid.
It's just like, wow, okay, I'm playing a deck that draws cards and plays like cheap stuff, and I'll just kill my opponent.
I mulliganed my first hand. It was because it was 2 lands, and I mulliganed into a 2-land hand, and I was just like,
oh well, yeah,
that sucks. But I missed a land drop in that game. I was still in it. So.
Yeah, right.
I like this deck. I like this deck more than the cloud deck. This is more my style.
This one is the counter, the dirtling with counters over here.
Too much dirtling.
What's I don't know. I think this deck does have hardened scales in it.
Oh God,
I'm sure you are familiar with that card. Yeah, there you go. It's FF14 specific. I'm sorry, FF10 specific hardened scales. The more and more counters we put on it, that many +1 are added. So
you just have so many counters.
Yeah,
you bring your like tackle box full of counters to the commander table.
We got Waka Flocka Flame here.
Waka. Reach trample for 4. When it deals common damage to a player, destroy up to 1 target artifact the bearer controls, and put a +1/+1 counter on Waka. At the beginning of your end step, a counter was put on Waka. Put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. Okay, whatever, man. Whatever, dude. Magic cards are all paragraphs. This is why I don't play Magic nowadays.
You gotta be like, I don't know.
Look at this card does like 16 different things. Counter target spell, counter target activator, triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, target player draws a card.
Yeah, you choose one or more.
You can do all those things. Yeah. It's kind of silly.
You get to do them all. There's the aforementioned Path to Exile. Yeah,
I haven't read a Yu-Gi-Oh card in quite a long time.
I despise.
So, Final Judgment, because that could kill stuff with shield counters, right?
Yeah, exiles, right?
Because
shield says destroy or.
So I did have it out.
I had so when you had all that garbage on the board, I had Farewell in my hand. Yeah, this was in my hand, which is, and I was like, I think I just wiped the board here. You got way too much shit going on. There's way too much going on. But then Titus came out.
Boy, Justinian. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a plus one counter on Justinian. If it gains flying at the beginning of your second main phase, you draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of your opponents who are dealt combat damage by Justinian or a dragon this turn.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
My brain. Okay. There you have it.
Magic.
Final Fantasy.
We've done it. We played some legitimate Magic.
These are fun.
I think these decks would be a lot of fun to just jam against each other like a table full of people.
I agree.
So yeah, like I said,
It's
going in the will. These decks have to remain together.
It's good to have together.
Or everyone's cut out of the will.
The Palmetto Cup. What is the Palmetto Cup?
Yeah. That's the Blood Bowl tournament. At Empire this Saturday.
I'm not. No.
Yeah, I'm playing it. We won it last year. Me and Jim. So we got to defend it.
Tournament?
It's team tournament. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You based off of like the tier of your teams involved. You have a certain number of points to make your lists, and you can like borrow from each other. It's like one person can like skimp on points, and the other person can have more. And so last year Jim was playing Shambling and I was playing Amazons with Dribble and Drool. Unfortunately, the list from last year wouldn't work this time around. So I'm probably playing vampires. I'm thinking about playing vampires because they're really good. Jim's probably just gonna run Shambling again, just because Shambling's just such like a great tournament team. You don't ever really feel bad about playing Shambling into any kind of like bash matchup, right? Your opponent's just trying to kill your team, and your whole team has regenerate. So, plus you get all the ghouls, and you can just like all your ghouls are just good, right? You just give skills to ghouls, and then they're totally great. So. Yeah, planning on playing in Palmetto Cup for sure. There you go.
Sunday trilogy, Star Wars.
Yes,
the Star Wars trilogy.
That's the idea. Play some trilogy.
Try it out.
Try out some trilogy.
Mess around a little bit. Maybe
dork around with it.
We'll do some other stuff because we may have a couple more streams to random ass crap before the next set comes out.
Do we have any card game necromancy stuff left over?
We could. If Talon maybe wants to show me how to play Middle Earth. That would be a good opportunity.
Yeah, or I don't know, something. There's something to do.
We can figure something out. Thanks for watching.
Gundam is on the horizon.
Yeah,
I don't have them yet, but Gundam's on the horizon. Gundam is like weeks away at this point.
Okay.
But yeah, we can play some Gundam. So
yeah, I'll let you know if I wanna learn some Middle Earth. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, y'all, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.